हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, वेलकम है आपका यूनिक एडुकेटर चैनल पर। स्टूडेंट्स, आज हम साइंस वन करेंगे, चैप्टर नंबर 2, दैट इज़ पीरियोडिक क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ एलिमेंट्स. So in this chapter, friends, we are going to see elements and their classification, and what are the laws put forth by Newland, and that is Newland's law of octaves, and Dobner's law of trade, and then Mendel's periodic table, friends. uh, because of Mendel's periodic table, modern periodic table was discovered. So all these topics we are going to see in this chapter. So students, moving on to classification of elements. So students, one thing I'd like to discuss is that when you're at home, so many things are present at home. So we see that pillows are always in the bedroom, and sofa set is in the living room, a dining table is also in the living room, glasses, cups and utensils are in the kitchen. So this is how we classify the things present in our home, uh, that which things has to be kept in kitchen, or which things has to be kept in bedroom, and which are the things that we keep in living room. So suppose friends, you are watching TV and you are having a remote in a hand, and you see that as soon as your wife, suppose your mom suppose calls you and says that ki bring the glass from the bedroom which is lying there. So you go there and you pick up the glass and you give it to your mom, who is working in kitchen. So now, uh, after some time, when you want to change the channel, you see that the remote is not lying around you. So you start searching. So after few minutes you realize that you have went to kitchen and bedroom. So you try to search in the kitchen and bedroom. So what does this mean, friends? If remote is not kept in the living room, we find it very difficult to find the remote. So this is how, because the place of the remote is in the living room, not in the bedroom or in the kitchen. So students, have you visited a DMart store? Yes. In DMart store, you have seen that everything is properly arranged. So properly arranged in the sense, we can say that the elements are means the items in the DMart are properly classified. So suppose if I see that the main clothes section is in the floor 1, and if I see that woman clothes section is in floor 2, and simultaneously woman clothes section के बाजू में I see that there are utensils. So what you will feel, friends, you see that the items are not arranged in a proper manner. So ऐसे कैसे कपड़े के सेक्शन के बाजू में बर्तन वहाँ पर रखा गया है, एंड समवट वहाँ पर बीच में ग्रॉसरी का आइटम्स कुछ रखे हैं, क्लॉथ्स के बीच में यूटेंसिल्स के बाजू में ग्रॉसरी. सो यू फील समवट not arranged in a proper manner. So that is why there is a need of the scientists that time to classify the elements in a arranged manner, so that they can easily find out the properties of the elements looking at the table, because because they have classified the elements in such a way that the table itself will give the information, more information about the element itself. So that is why during that time the scientists tried to classify the elements known till that time, and even certain scientists also tried to classify the elements which were going to be discovered later on. So that is why scientists felt to classify the elements. The scientists felt the need of classification of the elements. Many of the elements were discovered till 1800. 1800, about 30 elements were known. About 30 elements were known. More of the elements were discovered in the course of time after that. So now today 118 elements are known to the scientific world now, and we know about what is element, what are the atoms, and elements are of many types, we can say. They are classified, being classified into metals, non-metals, and metalloids. And previously we used to classify them as solid, liquid, and gases. So friends, one thing, after the discovery of many of the elements, one thing was felt by the scientists, uh, that all these elements has to be arranged in a proper manner. So what that proper pattern that a scientist would like to place these elements into was put forth by first Dobinus law of trade, and then Newland gave his Newland law of octaves based on the musical notes, and then Mendeleev put forth his theory, and then lastly modern periodic table came into effect, and the long form periodic table today we are using, friends, students. So more and more information on number of elements. The scientists started studying the pattern, if any. I have already told about the pattern they were looking for. In the vast information about them, you know that in the initial classification, elements were classified into groups, metals and non-metals. I have already discussed about this. Later on, another class of elements were called metalloids were discovered. As the knowledge about elements and their property went on increasing, different scientists started trying out different methods of classification. So many scientists tried, friends. Now we are talking about going to talk about Dobinus trade. Dobinus trade, right? The first scientist is Dobinus. So he put forth his theory, that is Dobinus trade. So students' name itself suggests that trade means three. Trade means group of three students. So the trade itself suggests that it's a group of three. So in the year 1817, a German scientist Robinier suggested that properties of elements are related to the atomic masses. Means elements were known till that time. We know the properties of that elements, and that properties are related to the atomic mass. Suppose atomic mass is higher, then their properties are changing, and suppose atomic mass is lower, then their properties are changing. So it means the properties are related to their atomic masses. So now he made a group of three. So what he decided to make a group of three, that is by taking any three elements and arranging in such that having similar chemical properties. So he arranged the elements that were having similar chemical properties, and group of three, तीन elements होंगे friends. तो तीन elements के chemical properties same होंगे, and he decided to place them in a same group that is called as group of trade. So what he did then, he arranged the three elements in a trade in an increasing order of atomic mass, and showed that the atomic mass of the middle element was approximately equal to the mean of the atomic mass of the other two elements. जो बाकी के दो elements जो थे पहले के दो, that elements. So he tried to arrange the three elements in a trade, means तीन एलिमेंट्स उसने लिया और उसको ग्रुप में अरेंज करने की कोशिश की. कैसे अरेंज करने की कोशिश की? इन एन इंक्रीजिंग ऑर्डर. सपोज 3, 4, 5 इन दैट वे. सो इंक्रीजिंग ऑर्डर ऑफ द एटॉमिक मास, And what did he showed that? He showed that the atomic mass of the middle element, तो atomic mass जो middle element का जो है, तो that was approximately equal to the mean of the atomic mass of the other two elements. So दो जैसे 3 4 5 मैंने लिया फ्रेंड्स, तो 3 and 5 ऐड करेंगे, सपोज 3 and 5 को ऐड करने का कितना आ गया 8, 8 डिवाइड बाई 2 करना कितना आ गया 4, तो 4 को उसने बीच में प्लेस किया, and this 4 was approximately equal to the mean of the other two atomic mass of the elements. So however, all the known elements could not be classified into Dobinier's trade. So what are the difficulty, friend? This is the one of the difficulty we can say, that he could not classify all the elements known that time in such kind of group of 3. That means he cannot put it them in a trade. So we can see here lithium, sodium, potassium. This is one of the trade. The other trade is calcium, strontium and barium. The third one is chlorine, bromine and iodine. So if we see the table very carefully, lithium has the atomic mass 6.9. Lithium. So lithium, sodium and potassium, in that lithium and पोटेशियम आर द एक्सट्रीम एलिमेंट्स, मीन्स ये पहला एलिमेंट है और सोडियम उसके बीच में है और पोटेशियम उस लास्ट में. तो लिथियम का एटॉमिक मास नंबर और पोटेशियम का लास्ट एटॉमिक मास नंबर दोनों को ऐड किया गया, तो लिथियम का एटॉमिक मास नंबर इज 6.9 एंड पोटेशियम का एटॉमिक मास is 39.1. So he added 6.9 and 39.1 and he divided by 2 because he is taking the arithmetic mean. He is taking the arithmetic mean. So what is arithmetic mean? Arithmetic mean means we have to add the two numbers and divide by 2. If we are taking two numbers, then we are going to divide by 2. So in this way he is taking the arithmetic mean of lithium and potassium. So arithmetic mean of lithium and potassium turns to be 23. So 23 atomic mass, ये किसका atomic mass है friend? He found that 23 is the atomic mass of sodium. So that is why he placed sodium in between lithium and potassium. So what he did? Tried to do, he tried to calculate the arithmetic mean of lithium and potassium, and he found that arithmetic mean of lithium and potassium, that is adding 6.9 plus 39.1 divided by 2, he got it 23. And 23 किसका atomic mass है friends? That is sodium. So he tried and he placed sodium in between lithium and potassium. So similarly उसने तीन एलिमेंट्स कैल्शियम, स्ट्रॉन्टियम, बैरियम ऐसा रैंडमली उसने उस वक्त लिया होगा फ्रेंड्स. सो सपोज सेकेंड टाइम ही ट्राइड, आफ्टर मेनी टाइम्स ही ट्राइड सपोज कैल्शियम एंड ही एडेड टू बैरियम. तो कैल्शियम का जो एक्चुअल एटॉमिक मास है दैट इज़ 40.1 एंड बैरियम का फ्रेंड्स 137.3. सो मैंने आपको कहा था कैल्शियम एंड बैरियम को उसने ऐड किया एंड डिवाइड बाय 2 किया, तो 40.1 plus 137.3 divided by 2, he found the answer to be 88.7. So 88.7 आंसर आने के बाद उसे क्या पता चला कि 88.7 जो है यह एटॉमिक मास किसका हो सकता है. तो he didn't find 88.7 but somewhat near to 88.7 and that is 87.6. तो 88.7 के आसपास वाला अप्रोक्सीमेट नंबर, अप्रोक्सीमेट एटॉमिक मास वाला जो एलिमेंट था दैट इज स्ट्रॉन्टियम. तो स्ट्रॉन्टियम, सो दैट इज व्हाई ही डिसाइडेड स्ट्रॉन्टियम टू प्लेस इन बिटवीन कैल्शियम एंड बैरियम. सो दैट इज व्हाई द ट्रेड इज कैल्शियम, स्ट्रॉन्टियम एंड बैरियम. सो ओके, हैव यू अंडरस्टूड स्टूडेंट्स? ओके, नाउ द थर्ड group of trade is chlorine, bromine and iodine. So again he added the atomic mass of chlorine and iodine. So what is the atomic mass of chlorine? 35.5 and iodine 126.9 and it divided by 2 and it divided by 2. तो what happened? So and divided by 2, so he got the answer 81.2. So again he tried to know the element which is having atomic mass 81.2. So now 81.2 was the element having 81.2 atomic mass was not present that time. So approximately equal to 81.2, near about 81.2, he found that one element uh, bromine was present, so whose atomic mass was 79.9. So what he did placed this element in between chlorine and iodine. In this way he found another trade, that is chlorine, bromine and iodine. So have you understood, students? So this is the definition, we can say define Robinet's law of trade or Robinet trade. So we can say that when three elements are arranged in the a trade in an increasing order of an atomic mass, so then and showed that the atomic mass of the middle element was approximately equal to the mean of the atomic mass of the other two elements. So this is the definition of Robinett's law of trade. So students, now moving on to this, some homework is given to you. This we have to identify whether the magnesium, calcium and strontium which is given here are following Robinett's law of trade or not. So what you are going to do, you are going to add 24.3 and 87.6 and you are going to divide by 2. तो 24.3 प्लस 87.6 आप इसको ऐड करेंगे, डिवाइड बाय 2 करेंगे, एंड सपोज यू आर गेटिंग समवॉट इक्वल टू 40.1 के जगह पे अगर 39 आता है या 41 आता है, तो देन वी कैन से दैट magnesium, calcium and strontium are the Robinett's trade. That means they follow Robinett's law of trade. Now question number 2, suppose same way this is S sulfur 32.1 and beryllium is 127.6. we have to add both these end elements, starting element and end element, and we have to divide by 2. If suppose equal to 79.0 or somewhat near to 79.0, then we can say that it is following Robinett's law of trade. It is a Robinett trade. The third question also we have to do it in the same similar pattern as I have already explained you. Now next is Newland law of octaves. Newland law of octaves. So the famous English scientist John Newland correlated the atomic mass of elements to their properties in different way. So now this scientist John Newland, he tried to correlate the atomic mass of the element to the property in different way. I already Dobinett told that the properties of the elements are related to the atomic mass. Properties जो होती है स्टूडेंट्स इज वो किससे रिलेटेड होती है? एटॉमिक मास. मतलब एटॉमिक मास अगर बढ़ जाएगा तो प्रॉपर्टी चेंज हो जाएगा, एटॉमिक मास अगर घट जाएगा तो प्रॉपर्टी चेंज हो जाएगा. सपोज एटॉमिक मास अगर बढ़ रहा है तो इट मे बी गैसेस, एटॉमिक मास अगर कम है तो इट मे बी सॉलिड्स, इन दिस वे. सो उसने कुछ अलग ट्राई किया. ही ट्राइड इन अ डिफरेंट वे. So in the year 1866, Newland arranged the elements known at that time in an increasing order of the atomic mass. So he tried again. Robinett ने भी आप देखा रहेगा सी फ्रेंड्स, Robinett का जो तरीका था, देखो ये लिथियम का एटॉमिक मास कितना है फ्रेंड्स? 6.9 एंड सोडियम इज 23 एंड पोटेशियम इज 39 पॉइंट. तो इंक्रीजिंग ऑर्डर हुआ कि नहीं? 6.9, 39.1 एंड sorry 6.9, 23 and 39.1. So increasing order of the atomic mass. So similarly, Newland did the same. He also arranged the elements known at that time in the increasing order of the atomic mass. So now it started with the lightest element hydrogen and end up with thorium. So he started with the lightest element. Lightest element is the hydrogen, friends, you know all of you, and end up with the thorium. Thorium is the heaviest element. So what did he found? He found that he some peculiar type of scene he uh, observed, that he found that every eighth element had properties similar to that of the first. मतलब जो पहला जो एलिमेंट है ना फ्रेंड, वो पहला एलिमेंट का प्रॉपर्टी जो है ना वो एट्थ वाले एलिमेंट से मैच करता है. तो सपोज द फर्स्ट एलिमेंट इज हाइड्रोजन. फर्स्ट एलिमेंट इज हाइड्रोजन. सो इट here first element is hydrogen, so it has the same similar property as that of the fluorine. So fluorine is the eighth element. Here you can see this table 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7, and eighth element is the fluorine. So every eighth element, this fluorine is the eighth element with respect to hydrogen. So hydrogen and fluorine have both similar properties. Now if I talk about lithium, so lithium is the first element. Suppose first 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8. So sodium is the eighth element with respect to lithium. Now lithium and sodium are having the same properties, So this similarity he always found in which element? In eighth element with respect to the first element. So that is why he found that every eighth element had a property similar to the first. For example, it is given that sodium is the eighth element from the lithium. Just now I have discussed this. Sodium is the eighth element with respect to lithium, and both have the similar properties. This already I have explained you. So also magnesium shows similarity to beryllium, and chlorine shows similar to fluorine. So chlorine shows similar to fluorine. Now chlorine is the eighth element with respect to fluorine, and fluorine is the eighth element with respect to hydrogen. So hydrogen, fluorine, chlorine, all these three elements, rather I can say hydrogen, fluorine, chlorine, cobalt, nickel and bromine, all these elements which is placed under do or sa musical note, all having the similar properties. And because of this he called them as the law of octaves, because every eighth element is the periodic function of the first element. Every eighth element is the periodic function of the first element, is or similar to the first element. So he called the similarity observed in the eighth and the first element to the Newland law of octave. So hence Newland law of octaves. Now octave means, friends, musical note. Here it is given the musical note do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti. These are the English musical notes. In Hindi we say that sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni. So there are 7 musical notes, and eighth element is similar to the first one. This is sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, sa. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, and here again it will come sa. So sa, sa. So it represents the similarity. So similarly he tried to arrange as per the musical note, and this is the table which he arranged, and we can see that magnesium is the eighth element with respect to beryllium. Aluminum is the eighth element with respect to boron. Similarly, silicon is eighth element with respect to carbon, and these elements which are lying in the column Sol, Pa, so all are these elements are having the similar properties. So now what is given in this pink box? In the Indian music system there are 7 main notes, namely sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni. and their collection is called saptak, and the collection is called saptak because it is having a 7 sur. So the frequency of the notes goes on increasing from sa to ni, then comes the sa of the upper sub at the double uh, the frequency of the original sa. This also I have already explained you that सा के नीचे से आ जाएगा, सा रे ग म प ध नि के नीचे क्या आएगा, सा आएगा. तो दिस इज व्हाट दे मीन टू से. तो इट मीन्स दैट नोट्स रिपीट आफ्टर कंप्लीशन ऑफ 1 सप्तक. मीन्स 7 होने के बाद में जो दूसरा आएगा वो पहले वाले से मैच करेगा. द सेवेंथ नोट इन द वेस्टर्न म्यूजिक आर डो रे मी फा सो ला टी. इन द वेस्टर्न म्यूजिक आई हैव ऑलरेडी टोल्ड द इंग्लिश जो लोग हैं उनके वेस्टर्न म्यूजिक जो है उनका डो रे मी फा सो ला टी ऐसा उनका म्यूजिकल नोट है. तो द नोट डो हैविंग डबल द ओरिजिनल फ्रीक्वेंसी कम्स अगेन एट द 8th प्लेस. तो डो यहाँ से शुरू हो गया तो इसके नीचे डो आएगा फ्रेंड्स. तो इस तरह से एवरी 8th एलिमेंट इज द पीरियोडिक फंक्शन ऑफ द फर्स्ट एलिमेंट. So this is the octave. This is the octave of Western notes. Music is created by the variety in the use of these notes. So now many limitations were found in the Newland's octave. Many limitations. Limitation means it was somewhat limited to certain truth, and this law was found to be applicable up to calcium. So now calcium, if we see about the table, calcium तक ही मैच हो रहा है फ्रेंड्स, क्योंकि बेरिलियम मैग्नीशियम कैल्शियम आर ऑल सपोज सॉलिड्स. तो लिथियम सोडियम एंड पोटेशियम आर ऑल्सो सपोज सॉलिड्स. हाइड्रोजन फ्लोरीन क्लोरीन आर गैसेस. बट हियर somewhere here if we see, this is oxygen friend, and this is sulfur, and this is iron. So oxygen is a gas, and sulfur, if we see, it is a solid, and iron is also solid. So this particular elements which is present under T और इंडियन म्यूजिकल नोट के हिसाब से नी के अंदर जो भी एलिमेंट्स है फ्रेंड्स, दिस ऑल दिस एलिमेंट्स आर not having similar properties, are not having similar properties. So here also see, this N is the nitrogen and P is the phosphorus and Mn is the manganese. So they are also having different physical properties, and though they are having different similar properties, अलग अलग properties होने के बावजूद, एक solid है, एक liquid है, एक गैस है, तो इस तरह से अलग अलग प्रॉपर्टीज होने के बावजूद वो ला के अंदर मौजूद है. सो दिस इज द लिमिटेशन वी फाइंड, एंड वी सी दैट दिस ग्रुप हैज फॉर्म्ड ओनली ऑन द बेस्ड ऑन म्यूजिकल नोट सा रे ग म प ध नि सा, बट दे आर नॉट फॉलोइंग द similarities in the properties of the certain musical note. For example, I have explained you about T या नी के नीचे ऑक्सीजन गैस है, S is the sulfur powder, or you can say solid, or iron is a solid. So these elements are not following similarities in the musical note under T. And one more important thing we have known that time is that Newland fitted all the elements in the table 7 into 8, that is 56 boxes. Newland placed 2 elements each in some boxes to accommodate all the known elements in the table. So we can see that there are certain, here we can see there are certain elements which are 2 elements. Together they are lying in the same musical note, that is सा. सा के अंदर कोबाल्ट भी आया और निकल भी आया. So how can cobalt and nickel both be equal to the first element, that is chlorine? क्लोरीन से कैसे क्या वो मैच करते हैं? एंड सेकेंड थिंग, why he did this? कोबाल्ट एंड निकल को यहाँ पर सेलेनियम एंड लैंथियम जो है उसने यहाँ पर भी एक साथ डाल दिया. सो दीज आर द लिमिटेशन स्टूडेंट्स आई एम डिस्कसिंग. सो Newlands placed 2 elements each in some box to accommodate all the known elements in the table. Just उसने उस वक्त 56 elements known थे at that time. So he try to place all the elements. So इसके चक्कर में फ्रेंड माय स्टूडेंट्स उन्होंने क्या कोशिश किया कि एक साथ में दो दो एलिमेंट्स को उसने डाल दिया ताकि सारे 56 एलिमेंट्स ये टेबल में फिट हो जाए. सो दैट इज़ नॉट राइट ना. सो दैट इज़ वाई there are some limitations in this Newland's law of octave. So for example, cobalt and nickel, I have already discussed cobalt and nickel, and selenium and lanthanum. So moreover, he placed some elements with different properties under the same note in the octave. मैंने आपको ये भी डिस्कस किया, नी के अंदर ऑक्सीजन गैस, this is what, this is solid, and F is what, again solid. So different properties, and they are placed in the same musical note, that is T, or Indian musical note Ni. So this is what they observed. And for example, Newland placed the metal cobalt and nickel under the note Do along with halogens. So here also main difference, cobalt and nickel are the metals, and these metals, what they are doing in the group of elements here, hydrogen, fluorine and chlorine, they are halogens. So halogen के group में cobalt and nickel क्या कर रहा है friends? So they are having totally different properties. So this is being observed, and while Fe having similarity with cobalt and nickel, away from them along with the non-metal O and S under the note Ti. So now this cobalt and nickel is having similar property to that of the iron और कोबाल्ट निकल के जो प्रॉपर्टीज है स्टूडेंट्स, दे आर ऑल सेम, बट he placed iron here under the T or Indian musical note Ni, and he placed cobalt and nickel under Do और Indian musical note Sa. तो इसके नीचे ये कोबाल्ट और निकल यहाँ होना चाहिए था फ्रेंड, तो यहाँ पर तो नहीं है. सो दिस इज़ वॉट ही मेड अ बिग मिस्टेक. And also Newland octave did not have provision to accommodate the newly discovered elements. So one thing certain thing students that time ki still many of the elements were going to discover later on. So if suppose these elements were discovered, then there should be a provision, कुछ सुविधाएं होनी चाहिए कि ये नए एलिमेंट्स आएंगे तो ये टेबल में हम अरेंज कर सकते हैं. तो फॉर एग्जांपल फ्रेंड्स हम 1 BHK लेते हैं, जिसका पास पैसा है सपोज, तो फ्रेंड्स वो 2 BHK लेता है, उसको ज़रूरी नहीं होता 2 BHK पर 1 BHK भी चलेगा, बट ही बाय 2 BHK. वाई? सपोज कि आगे फैमिली बढ़ गई, फैमिली मेम्बर्स बढ़ गए, तो देन प्रोविज़न होनी चाहिए ना कि हम डायरेक्टली फिर वो घर बेच के नया और कोई दूसरा घर खरीदा. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. तो पहले से ही, हाँ अगर पैसे नहीं होते तो बात अलग थी कि 1 BHK हम खरीदते, लेकिन वी आर हैविंग मनी एंड 2 BHK की जगह पे मैंने 1 BHK खरीद लिया. सो आगे मेरी फैमिली बढ़ गई तो देयर विल बी अ सर्टन प्रॉब्लम. तो आगे के बारे में सोचकर न्यूलैंड ने जो है, ही डिडंट ऑलरेडी ट्राई टू leave some spaces in the table. So that is again one of the drawback. And the properties of the new element, here we can say discovered later on did not fit in the Newland law of octaves. So जो भी बाद के जो एलिमेंट्स थे वो उसके जो प्रॉपर्टीज़ जो है फ्रेंड्स, जो डिस्कवर किए गए थे बाद के जो एलिमेंट्स, उसके प्रॉपर्टीज़ जो है वो न्यूलैंड लॉ ऑफ ऑक्टेव टेबल में फिट नहीं हो पा रहे थे. सो दीज आर द ड्रॉबैक्स ऑफ द न्यूलैंड्स लॉ ऑफ ऑक्टेव. सो आई होप सो कि आपको यहाँ तक समझ में आया स्टूडेंट्स. के लिए इतना ही फ्रेंड्स. आई होप सो यू हैव अंडरस्टूड. और कल हम देखेंगे मेंडलिस पीरियोडिक टेबल, मेरिट्स ऑफ मेंडलिस पीरियोडिक टेबल एंड डिमेरिट्स ऑफ मेंडलिस पीरियोडिक टेबल. थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग. टिल देन बाय.